bit about your role with EIFEL and what you do?
Yeah, so EIFEL is the Institute for Entrepreneurial Leadership. We are a business development nonprofit that offers free business developmental services for business owners to get capital ready. And my role is community engagement lead. So that means I work both locally and nationally to help business owners get to that next level, whether it's just getting organized, strategized for their business, or to get ready to receive capital from lenders.
Yeah, so that's actually really big for most people in business because, right, we're in business to make money. And what are some of the biggest challenges that you see that businesses faces when trying to get capital ready?
Yeah, I've been a business owner for 8 years now, and the one thing I always talk to the Lord about is just the idea that everyone just needs money. That's just it, and money makes the world go round, sadly, in this realm. And so, some of the big things you see with business owners is that they don't have their financial projections. They don't have a management system that produces statements or tracks their revenue, spending, things like that. You also see that business owners they don't know how to show up in front of money, lenders, opportunities. So you would say they're not seasoned around being in front of people and speaking about their business and highlighting who they are as an individual and what makes their business unique as well. So there's a few key components that we really work through in Eiffel to get them kind of really grounded and ready.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Money is very intimidating for people. And I think it's an important part of our subconscious and, just understanding like money isn't evil. Money isn't bad. It's a tool and we need it to do the work, to do the kingdom work. But more importantly, what do you think about faith forward driven businesses and business owners? Why do you think there's this insecurity around money?
I think, somebody was an atheist at one point in time and now a disciple of Christ. I think we're taught in a lot of churches that poverty is the richness here on the planet.
Right.
And the Lord actually really encourages both, wealth here and wealth in heaven. And wealth, I think people think about it in terms of just monetary and paper, that we pass. But wealth is, the connections we make it is the skill sets that we have. There is a parable about Jesus giving skills and what they did and didn't do with it. So I think, when you start to realize that uh, the Lord has put us here to make money, to be disciples, to spread the word, the good news. I think, people just haven't been open to that or they haven't experienced it. And so hopefully business owners will kind of learn the importance of moving forward in their faith and realizing that God doesn't want you to be poor here. He wants you to be rich in health, wealth, love, and connectivity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we need to redefine what wealth is and not have this idea that, oh, because I'm a believer, I'm not supposed to be wealthy and that I'm not supposed to handle large amounts of money
Yeah.
and I'm supposed to subconsciously and consciously deny my inheritance.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times because we are not well versed in who we are, we don't know our inheritance. I was reading it. I don't know who was telling me this the other day. They're saying that we haven't read our will because there's a will left back for us in the word and it tells us about our inheritance. But because we don't, because we haven't read our inheritance, we go around thinking that we're supposed to be in poverty and supposed to inherit this struggle. And I see a lot of business owners, people that have the same beliefs that I do. And it's like, why are we in business if we're afraid to make money?
Yeah.
Why are we in this space building, networking, if it's not about making money to expand
Yeah.
our the kingdom and fulfill our purpose?
Well, I think it goes back to the one thing you said. We haven't read the inheritance part. And as someone who's reading the Bible front to back for the first time and going through ministry school and hearing about money and biblical studies, the word is the most important thing we can run back to. And most people haven't had time or made time to really go and dive deep into the word, to truly understand, the etymology of words and what it really means and, the different layers that this Bible slash onion kind of is. And so, I think if we can take a little more time to dive back into the word, that's exactly how we understand that God wants us so rich, not just in material, but in our soul.
Yeah, 100%. And once we understand that identity, we're not afraid to sit in front of a lender, sit in front of to apply for a grant and be afraid to manage large amounts of money. Which kind of pivots me to ask the next question. Um, in your experience, with dealing with financiers, what are the things that they're looking for the most? What are the critical components of getting funding?
Yeah, kind of goes back to what I was saying about having, your projections, having your financial management system, having revenue of some sort, whether it's personal money that you can pour or money that's coming from the business directly. They want to know that you can pay them back. And something else is, realizing that you don't need the whole piece of the pie right off the bat. So we talk about it at Eiffel, and it's something we'll talk about through the program when we have it, is that, don't ask for $1 million, right? Ask for, break it down if you need 10,000 for marketing, 5,000. So, a lot of lenders are happy to go with those smaller bite-sized pieces. And then as you pay that off, you build that reputation, your credit's going to grow, your opportunity is going to grow. They're going to want to give you more next time. So, I want to encourage people more than anything is to be comfortable with going for a little so you can have a lot later.
Yeah, I think it's also about identifying the need. I
Yeah.
think sometimes because you just talked about something about, you just said something about allocating funds,
Yeah.
right? Hey, I need 10 grand for marketing.
Yeah.
I need 20 for payroll. Um, Here's my operational cost. And I think a lot of business owners are afraid to get into the weeds of their business to understand what their needs are and putting that in front of someone to articulate, hey, here's where you can meet me at.
For sure.
As opposed to like, I need $1 million. It's like,
Cool.
oh yeah, for sure.
I get it.
I could trust you with $1 million.
Right, exactly. Well, and that's the thing. That's what we focus on at Eiffel is reminding people just like those little bite-sized pieces go a long way. And why a lot of times once you have that stable base in your marketing or that hiring or getting your products there, it's gonna, like you said, bring in more money. It's gonna create this bubble of reputation that you're steady, you're stable, and you're worth working with in the long run.
Yeah, and I think relationship, just like in business, is just another. It's synonymous with relationships,
Yes.
and that's with your clients, that's with your employees, contractors, and also your bank and
Yeah.
financiers, right? Because it's all about relationship. How do I know I can trust you? If I gave you a micro loan and you pay me back, let's say on schedule or even before schedule, now I know. Okay, look, I gave Lauren 10 grand and she was able to pay that back. I'm sure we can extend her 15, 20, 35, 40, depending on the capacity of her business, the industry, and the risk appetite. We can give her more because she has shown us that she has the capacity for it.
Yeah, I think that's when we work with really big people who like you're talking tech and medical, they're the ones that I do notice get a little excited and kind of go for the, direct approach. But the reality is, and what we talk about with them, it is relationship building. And you want people who want to stick around for your business the long run, and want to see you succeed and then also support them who support you,
Right.
because sure, I give you $1 million and it shouldn't always be transactional. But at the end of the day, as I give to you, what are you giving back to me? And if it's just transactional, that's not what I want. And we were talking about that. I think a friend and I were talking about that earlier. Just it's okay to be transactional, but the transaction has to be equality in giving and taking at the same time. And I think we lose that when we're going for money or going for connections. People want to just go, "Hey, I need connections. I need this." Well, again, like, I don't know you.
Yeah, it has to be equitable.
Yeah.
And I think that's such an important piece. When we live out of scarcity and lack, we end up missing the opportunities in front of us.
We do. We do. I think, more than anything, I own a networking franchise and it's about building friendships. It's about building community. So that way your referrals and your money goes up at the same time. And I've learned over the years I've been networking and putting on events. I'm 36, y'all. But since college, so we're talking 16 years of putting on bonfire camp out events to have friends come and hang to now owning a business networking franchise where you just see over the years how important it is to build friendships and to realize the other part is that people have their time and place in season. But the best thing you can do is build that network and that connection and see where things go.
Yeah, so you're talking about events because you put on events and we're partnering on an event.
Yeah.
So we get to talk about the plug. Tell us a little bit more about Eiffel and their involvement with the plug and this incredible opportunity.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm even getting chills talking about it. I'm so blessed to be able to kind of start doing these speaking series on how businesses can get ready to receive capital and what it means to be capital ready. So kind of going back to what we were saying before is, what do you need? And then Eiffel, we actually offer free resources for that. So we have free templates and things that we give to people when they join. There's nothing to join. It's free for everything. We have financial advisors that you'll sit with for free, no charge. You can have as many sessions as you need. So we're looking forward to just partnering up and building more of a community with you guys here. I'm so grateful that we've made the connection, Martinly, and that we see a vision and we're carrying it out. And so yes, we've got an event May 15th.
Yeah, really excited about partnering up on this. We understand that as much as companies need help with marketing, with production, and getting their voice out there, we also need help in getting funded, right? And paying for those things. And it's a pain point that all business owners have. It is something that we all share in common. We need to get funded. So we're putting on this event series, this networking series, this education series where we're giving out free resources. It costs nothing for you to come. We just need you to come with an open mind
Yeah.
and come in with with the posture of meeting people and building relationships,
Yeah.
and then also just coming in for the free resources.
Mhm.
It's going to be a workshop. It's going to be opportunity for networking. There's going to be some music. There's going to be some food, and then most importantly, this value that you're adding by talking about how to actually get funded.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people here registered with whether it be their LLC, sole proprietorship, their different formations of business, but haven't really come up with a plan on how to get funded. So we're really excited in collaborating with you. Creative Network Studios is going to be on May 15th at 6 o'clock, and people should come ready to learn,
Yeah.
ready to engage,
Yeah.
and get connected.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And very excited. We'll have hopefully a partnership announcement here soon, but a collaborative partner that I've been doing stuff with every third Thursday of the month, the last few months, where you'll get possibly a banking side of support. So you'll get to know it from a bank, especially on what's necessary on their ends a little bit deeper. We work with CDFIs a little bit more, which kind of work with the smaller groups, the smaller businesses, so we feel like it's a little easier than even big banks, but hopefully we'll be bringing additional partnership in.
Yeah, there's going to be other partners, other sponsors that are going to be involved with this, other tools and resources that are very important for businesses as they grow, especially with this fast moving pace world that we live in terms of business and entrepreneurship. There's new AI tools out. There's new financial services tools out, and it can be overwhelming for business owners.
Yeah.
We're here as your partners to make it easier. Let's have the hard conversations, and let's get you funded.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I think the hard stuff is always my favorite kind of conversations because when you start breaking down those walls, you create this bubble of safety and vulnerability for people to really like show up in full. And I get to experience a lot of things, divorces, deaths, and all the things in between. But at the end of the day, I get time to build and spend quality time. And as a certified business coach for these last 8 years, there's nothing more than giving people love when they need it.
Yeah, which is interesting. In our business, it's serves as almost our ministry.
Yes, absolutely.
We get to connect with people. Yeah, we learn about their business and their dreams, but there's nothing more sensitive than the vision that you have
Yeah.
and the thing that you're carrying on because you feel like it's part of your purpose and it's fulfilling. And that's why at our agency, we love to work with individuals, no matter what level they're at,
Yeah.
whether you're seasoned, or whether you're just getting started, because it's the relationship behind it. It's the journey behind it. That's where the true jewels and the gems are. It's the journey.
Yeah.
And we love the opportunity to get to grow with them. And when able to provide resources that you see are actually like beneficial to their path, you feel like that extra light, extra bit of support. And I'm so happy that we share the same goals and we have the same purpose and align